The Promise of Forgiveness, what a title, what a call. Who would have known that this book would have it all? Foreshadowing and changing themes, just to name a few. Chosen diction and writing with characters just for you. Yes, this book was surprisingly complex. We are glad that we chose not to neglect what Marin Thomas wrote and gave to us. This book won some awards, now we understand the fuss, and we are here to analyze it now, to show you all what gave the book its pow, to explain the author's choice of words, the way they weave together, to give ideas in hers. The book starts with a big backstory. Ruby and her daughter Mia ought to really worry. The relationship is rocky and lacks any trust. They gotta get together and talk, yeah they must. And the book introduces Old Man Hank, of whom which Ruby refuses to think. Her biological father who abandoned her at birth. Him and her mother left right when she came to Earth. Ruby got a message to meet her dad, and their first encounter was actually pretty bad. To end the beginning, she met his worker Joe, to which her conscience would forego. She started to develop a little crush. A problem of hers was her tendency to rush.
As the book carries forward, it gets a bit advanced. We're glad we gave this book a second chance.
As we start the middle, we catch some themes. Trust is important. Everything's not what it seems. The book shows us everyone has a path in which your actions have effects that last. In the way of relations, we see that there are less agitations. Hank and Mia form a rapport. Ruby starts to make up with her dad for what he did to her as a baby. Her attitude is less no and more of a maybe. One last theme of forgiveness. Ruby begins to have less resistiveness. Her and Joe start to hit it off. Things are looking up, Mrs. Groff.
Let's take a break and note something the author did. Marin Thomas portrayed me as a bad kid, but showing how giving a second chance allows people to change made Hank's home of Unforgiven a little less strange. It was a place filled with secrets no one knew, and horrible things people had to go through. Now let's talk about Ruby's bad mother, who left early on and spent her life in the gutter. Cora loved Hank, and Hank loved her, but for some reason, something didn't stir. She felt that she didn't belong in Hank's life. But how can that be? After all, she's Hank's wife. She left Hank for good in the middle of the night, and when Hank found out, it sure did bite. All the things Cora did sure did stink. All the emotional trauma made Hank's heart sink. You think Hank would move on and no longer love her, but you'd be surprised Hank's a real big sucker. Yet he still loved her and held her dear, and waited on the couch with a beer.
Hank's own French had an interesting past. He was living alone and years went by fast. It was first seen as a symbol of safety and joy, with everyone with people and a life to enjoy. The house was filled with laughter and smiles and happiness that went on for miles. Acceptance is another key point of the book. Hank was the father that Ruby would overlook. She did not even consider to ever forgive him, even when the chance she saw another man leaving her weren't slim. After Ruby realized it was time to love her father, bottling up her pain, oh, she did not bother. Thomas shows the impact of showing how you feel. Letting go of a hurtful memory helps you heal. It helps you go as a person, and makes you strong, and fix relationships with people who've also done wrong. The town was so small that everyone knew each other, treating one another like their very own good brother. Although most people were very great friends, some people like Hank and Randall couldn't make amends. Randall wanted the ranch that Hank always had, and Hank kept the land, which made Randall mad. Jealousy caused Randall to attack, and Hank didn't know he was being stabbed in the back. A car, a ranch, a barn was damaged. Protecting his own home, Hank couldn't even manage. His own granddaughter was even affected. Randall was so secretive, he was never suspected. His own greed and selfishness hurt the town, and was finally caught, cause Ruby didn't back down. She continued to fight for the sake of her dad, showing the importance of love the family had. Everyone chose to stick together as one. They ended the trouble and started to have fun. After all the anger and guilt went away, Ruby decided she and Mia were going to
I've forgiven a place filled with many different tales behind the beat-up stores and piles of dirt on the trails. But the people who loved each other and were kind on the other hand were not very shy and spoke their mind. Being truthful allowed them to grow very close and handle any problems they were ever to expose. The book shows two people can turn a new leaf. Ruby decided to start fresh, and it was a relief. relief. Joe made her happy and erased the grief. Some can say he stole her heart. Ooh, what a thief. Now relating to each other, those two connected but falling in love, so not expected. Joe was able to be the father figure Mia dreamed of, and the perfect man Ruby always wanted to love. The stories show how life isn't fair, and people don't realize the struggles that they all share. A message made that you're never alone, so don't try to do everything on your own. Overall, this powerful novel by Maureen Toller shows the relevance of a single promise. The promise of forgiveness, it's in the name, and the people are forgiven, they were all the same. They had desire for something, whether it was family or a ring or some very nice bling. They were willing to do anything to make other people glad. Thinking about others before themselves, that's pretty rad.
After all the analysis, we'll go back to the start to see what this all means to the heart. The word forgiveness goes a long way, for it doesn't come in just one day. You don't just get it, it must be earned. You must understand your flaws and prove that you learn.
After all that forgiveness is promised, over time, everything will be great. Honest, your family will accept you no matter how you act. They'll always love you, and that's fact. Let's not all forget how a promise marks the start to make sure that everything just doesn't fall apart. It makes the bond strong before everything else can go wrong. Promises are signed that things keep getting better, but at the end, it kept the small family together. The promise of forgiveness, what a title, what a call. The book has theme and characterization. It had it all. Things like trust and forgiveness we were able to draw with characters like Ruby and Mia, just to name a few. We thought that Maureen Toller's story was just plain old trash, though a powerful language, so we were just being right. Overall, the story was surprisingly great, that even though reading through the first half is well worth the wait.
We need like a good nod your head to the beat.
Ooh, what a thief.